Hello, and welcome to Talk.Therapy.Heal, a dynamic and engaging show that endeavors to shatter the many stigmas surrounding mental health and therapy. Talk.Therapy.Heal is a collective of licensed counselors, therapists, and life coaches, unique in areas of specialization, expertise, and experience. Through the art of curated, genuine, compassionate conversation, we get to the deep things. We are so excited you chose to begin your healing journey with us. Tune in to Talk Therapy Heal.
Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another show of Talk Therapy Heal. Listen, we did not have enough time to complete the last episode of American Dream. Is it American Dream or an American Nightmare? So we are starting off with part 2, kind of leaving off where we were and continuing forward. And hopefully we will have some amazing tools for you all to be able to get through this if you deem it American Dream or American Nightmare.
Okay. So we said we want to start off with the question of what do we deem? Or what did you say, Shan?
How are we feeling right now in this current climate, allowing ourselves to be vulnerable to express how we're feeling with all that's going on right now in the United States?
Yeah. I would say for me, just thinking back, like if I were to put this in context. So the American dream for me was to definitely build and establish a family, um, obtain work that I enjoy, um, but work that will also provide for the family as well. Definitely meet the hubby and all of that, good stuff. But I think back to as a little kid, my dad um, was Air Force, and so we traveled all around. And I remember the patriotism, right? It was a awesome thing, and I'm not saying it's not now, but it was an awesome thing to have a parent who served, right, in the military. And it was an awesome thing for Americans to, be in the various countries. And they would see that, okay, this is an American family. We receive them, we take them in because they are our friends, because they are, people that we can connect with, because they are just generally good people, despite whatever may have been said back in the day. We were always received well. But the big picture is we received more love outside of the United States than in. And was that speaking to the American dream? I don't know. But I say all of that to say, um, the way I feel now today, I don't want my kids to be here. I don't want my grandbaby to be here, in these states. I feel that we've lost truth, that we've lost literally our way. And when I say our way, the way original plan, you know what I mean, for us, we've lost that. And that's why we're in a delusional state.
Oh, I feel that, and I don't know if y'all feel it, but I feel the heaviness right now at this table because it's like our truth. We are putting our truth out there on how we really truly feel being people of color, um, being especially having had served this country and the manner in which we served for the amount of years that we served. We sacrificed. We sacrificed our time. We sacrificed our families. We sacrificed so much of ourselves to give to a country that we receive more love from others versus the country we swore to protect and serve. that to me is very heavy, and it's made me question um a lot of things lately, especially in looking at the climate of this world. Growing up, I don't know that I ever really truly understood the American dream or what it would take. But as I began to get older or become older, a teenager in high school, this is what is starting to be indoctrinated into you. This is what you need to do in order to be successful. And so you do all of the things only to be met with rejection, to be met with not being accepted. So rejection, yeah, abandonment types of things, making you feel as though you don't belong.
Right.
So you're wandering, trying to see where you fit in. And so for me, this climate today, I don't want to be here.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't want to be here. So I'm like you, I don't want my family here. I don't want my grandkids here. I don't want them to experience what has been happening around here. I want them to experience love. I want them to experience people who want them. I think about I served a country that didn't want me. That's heavy for me. 11 years of my life I gave to a country that doesn't want me. And would try to do things to get me out. I pull back into part of the unhealthy or unhealed parts that say, oh, you don't want me? Okay, I can cut you off before you cut me off. And so that's where I'm going. Like my mindset is going. And so I've been talking to my husband and like, where can we go to leave this? But if I leave, I want to take my family. I want my whole family to go with me because I don't ever want to receive a phone call that they were put in a position. And I have two sons one who is currently serving and one who did serve. My husband, he's not in the military, but he still serves this country. He's serving now, putting his life in danger, sacrificing himself for a country that shows him each and every day, I don't want you. I don't care about your sacrifice. That to me is like, hey, I can chuck them deuces and be like, see ya. But then I think, where would we go?
Yes.
Right.
Where would we go? This is a place that I was born and raised in. This is the only place I know. And I've heard rumors, and I'm going to say rumors because I don't know how true it is, that he wants to get rid of people who has a birth certificate here, who holds a U.S. birth certificate and deport them. Where are you sending them?
Yeah.
Where would you send me? The person who served, where would you send me? The person who sacrificed, where would you send me as a person who continues to serve?
Right.
Where would I go? So it still is that underlying, like, I don't want to be here now. It's all I think we said it before in other shows, like when someone does something to you, there's the boundary is up now, and yeah, you might have a little access to me, but it is very limited.
Right.
That's where I feel I am today.
Yeah. This is looking like, is he gonna go? I'm gonna go. To be honest and transparent, for me, I feel angry. And the reason being is because when you have sacrificed, as you mentioned, and as a parent, especially military parents, which all of us were, is I know in my mind when I deployed, when I went to the field, when I left my children and didn't want to leave my children, my mom was telling me, Shan, you are doing this for your family. So your children won't have to go through this. So they'll have another step. They can step on your shoulders and go and see further than you have. But to look at reality and not be delusional, when looking at reality, I'm upset because the future that I thought that I was helping in my family to work towards is not here. Not only is my children, if that be a concern, and grandchildren as well, is the fact of, now listen, I'm a believer, so don't come for me in the comments, okay? I'm trying to stay professional. I'm a believer and I believe in God, but we also, not to say but because that discount, we also have to look at the world that we are in, although we are not a part of this world. And what's very frustrating is having to really sit back and identify who I can trust and who I can't. Now, we'll take you this. We've been speaking about social media in the last episode, but so when you sit back and you hush and you observe, you learn a lot.
Oh, you do.
Yep.
So I don't have to argue with you, anybody on social media. I don't have to do all of that. I just go and say unfollow.
That's it.
So it's like, wow. And to the point that now me and my husband are not ones, we're very wise about who we let into our space because we've argued, fussed, and fought and all these things to get to where we are. And it's a safe space for not only us, but our children. So we wouldn't just let anybody in, but it's like, I don't know who I can trust, which means I'm more so praying, relying on God. God, you show me and allow my flesh to shut up so I can learn. But I too am in the same boat where I'm like, when you've lived in other countries, when you've lived, when we would speak to our German landlord and family, they would invite us to dinner. They loved on and watched after our children, not in a perverted way. It was true. They accepted us, like Larisha said, with open arms. We wave at the neighbor, but we don't even get that same love, and we're right here in the U.S. And they have different skin color than us. And or I'll say this and then I'm done. The frustration too is what you were mentioning about the American dream. So if you achieve all the things, which we have done, we've achieved a lot of the things. We did more than what we even wanted to do, just to be honest. But it frustrates me, and I say this a lot in the car group that we belong to. Yes, I'm 47 in a car group because we up the community. However, it's very frustrating when someone sees how you live, when someone sees what you drive, and they are not the same color as you skin-wise, although you may come from a family that is multi, okay? It's in the DNA. Almost every ethnicity in my family, my husband can verify. But then I'm looked down on because you don't deserve to be driving that. You haven't sat and had a conversation with me. You don't know what I've been through. You don't know my education and none of that. So if I don't want to go through that and I busted my behind along with my husband to get to where I am, why would I want my children and grandchildren to go through that? And it's all because of the color of my skin. And it's getting worse in these United States of America. I like to say that. Y'all catch why I did that. Anyway, I digress. I'm sipping my water.
Yep.
Okay, Mr. King.
I think the state that I'm in, I'm not surprised. We understand that history repeats itself.
Yes.
And it's kind of sticking its ugly head back up. While I'm not surprised, I am saddened at the fact that we have had people who have came before us who put their lives on the line so that we can have a better quality of living than what those individuals had, that we are able to vote, get an education, hold certain jobs and positions within, legislature and things of that nature. But I'm saddened at the fact that we should be so much further along than what we are. For me, I still feel that sometimes as a person of color that you have to still work twice as hard just to be considered half as good.
Yes.
I pose a question to anybody, and I'm not one of those individuals that tries to debate anything, but I love to have nice conversations. Make America great. So you're basically admitting that at some point that it was not good if you have to make it great again. The inequality and the injustice that continues to happen And it's not just about Black and brown people. It does not matter who you are, what the color of your skin is, but just the simple fact that when something happens to one person, it can be justified, but for somebody else, then it's like a walk in the park. That brings a certain level of cloud over your head that you have to try to shake. I feel as though in recent years, you find things that come to light that you've been lied to about a lot of different things. And half of the history papers that people wrote in school and college, they need to go back and say none of this information was correct. Where'd you get your information from? Because it wasn't true. The last thing, just for me, I'm hypervigilant, but I'm very precise. And I believe that in a sense that I am staying at the edge and just being prepared for whatever it is to come. You have to keep your mind in a position to always think about survival, to always think about pressing forth, because if you stay in one place too long, you may get stuck there. And sometimes we have to understand, and it doesn't matter. I'm not calling the U.S. government an enemy or anything of that nature, but when you are under attack by an enemy, sometimes their goal is to get you stuck in one place so that they can surround you and then you have no way out. And what you have to do is get yourself into a position where you make an L-shaped, oh God, I forgot what they call that. But it's basically an L-shaped fighting position
Left
where,
flank.
no, well, it's actually like when you have people here, you're shooting that way and people shooting that way, there's no way you can get out of that. So you keep yourself in that position where you see things coming, but you're able to protect yourself from two sides. So that way you don't get caught up and, you basically can kill the enemy. Well, we just have to stay on guard. We have to continue to be who we are. And I say what we do is we do have to merge together as people. We do have to fight for what is right. We can't let certain things that may be put in place deter us because we've all seen it before. And guess what? It still is here, but we can still beat it down. Now, from a personal point of view, I've been through a lot of this. I've had an individual tell me to my face in a board that I would not get a certain position because of the color of my skin, and still got it at the ripe old age of 13. And I'm not sure if there's been not too many other people in America that's did that for that prestigious award that I got. I've been told that I wouldn't make it in certain other positions in the military, even outside the military. After I retired, I've been told certain things, and yet I'm still standing. So I'm just going to end it with this. If God be for you, who can be against you?
Amen. Amen.
That's it.
Man.
Wow.
Wow. That's something. I mean, just to hear all of our perspectives, but all kind of like there's similarities, and do you all think that it's because of our experiences? Because we've all had different experiences in life, right? Or do you think it's more of the connection generationally, like a foundational thing that we all kind of arrived at the same same type of thought process on how this world, the climate of this world is impacting us?
I think it's everything. I think it's a little bit of the generational thing. I think it's our experiences, because our experiences shape us and form us as to who we are, how we think. But I think even more so, going back to the experience of what we do in our profession, I know I've sat with a lot of people and they sat right in front of me like, I don't know what to do. What's going on? I don't know where my next meal is going to come from. I don't know if I'm going to have a job. I have to think about my family, or we're going to be put on a ship and put somewhere. I see it all. And so I think that from our collective standpoint here is that we've gathered so much knowledge out of books. We've gathered knowledge from the experiences that we have. And what we're basically doing is culminating this all together to wrap our minds around what do we have to do to understand this dream that we're in.
I think that's so important. What do we have to do to understand the dream?
Yeah.
I think part of that, and understanding it comes back to identity, and understanding that sometimes when we're chasing after something or going after a dream or trying to make a dream come true, that it can cost us our identity, especially if we're not really in tune with with ourselves like that. We become more of the thing we're chasing because we think that that's going to be the thing that will be fulfilling. I want to say this scripture, Mark 8:36. Now, what good is it to gain the whole world but lose your soul? I'm going after something. I'm trying to become this thing that they said I should become, but I'm losing the very essence of who I am.
Absolutely. What are you willing to do to get where you want to be?
Right.
And selling your soul and sometimes other people out for it.
Right. So, you think about, you build a resume, you get the degrees, you buy the house, you do all of the things, right? But you lose you.
Right.
You lose your voice. You lose your joy. Sometimes people lose their faith. And that's what I feel like we've been seeing in the therapy room a lot lately, is a lot of people are losing their faith. They don't know what to believe in anymore.
Right. I want. Oh
no, you go ahead. I got you.
No, I was about to say I wanted to share, because I shared with them off camera that I just had this burning question that said, "What diagnoses are often associated with chasing the American dream?" Which is what Nikki was just speaking about. So, although some of these are not like DSM-5 diagnoses, it kind of speaks to it. But we mentioned anxiety. Well, before going in this, it says the psychological strain, and this is talking about chasing the American dream, or chasing the dream, if you will. But the psychological strain is often magnified when reality doesn't match expectations, leading to feelings of failure and disillusionment. So the associated mental conditions or something thereof is anxiety, depression, substance abuse disorder. We're seeing that a lot. Adjustment disorder, because there's so much change going on, we can't even adjust. Low self-esteem and internalized blame, if you haven't reached whatever this disillusion of American dream is. Perfectionism and overworking. Okay. And then reduce relationship satisfaction. And if y'all don't mind, I just wanted to read that because I shared that with them as well. It says a strong focus on financial success has been linked to lower satisfaction with family life and other relationships. This prioritization of extrinsic goals over intrinsic ones can have broader negative consequences for well-being. So it seems like Kenya was saying, it made me think about the job that I worked for recently at the state. And sometimes we think when people come and ask for help because they can't, we have rising grocery costs. We have people can't afford to pay their bills, roof over their head. They have good jobs. They may have injured themselves. They're on short-term unemployment and things like that. One would think that, oh, it's just the low-level people that don't want to get off their butts and get a job, because that's what they say here in America. They need to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. Pray for me with that one. Anywho, because we of people of color have been told that a lot. But guess what? The people that were coming in my office were not low income. Some were truck drivers who was making good money over the road. Some were doctors. Some were lawyers. Some were, they had these high professions, and yet was falling into a sense of high-strung stress, depression, anxiety, and their health was starting to fail. But they did all the right things, as we were saying, to chase the American dream, and you got to make something of yourself. But it could be one thing that caused all of that to shift.
Absolutely.
And then fall into what we're saying.
Yeah, and I think it's what we've been seeing is more than one thing that is causing people to shift. It is a lot that has been happening in this world in just this year.
Right.
This year alone has been a whirlwind for a lot of people. So many different transitions, not only in your personal life, but in the world around you. And so you can't find your footing. You already got, some people would have their jobs that they can go to and know that, you know what, okay, my job is stable. I'm okay here. Things may be a little awry at home, but I got something that I can go and stand on and know that it's sturdy. Well, you don't even have that anymore. So you go to work and all of a sudden you're told, you know what?
You don't have
You don't have a job. I've had clients like that come and they had a job on Friday when they took off for the weekend, came back on Monday and didn't have a job anymore. So it's like, it's a lot that people are experiencing in these transitions that makes it difficult for them, to really stand. It's oh my God. I want to take us in shift us a little bit because we have been talking this episode and last episode about what this American dream and American nightmare has been looking like for people. And so we don't ever want to leave you all out there hanging with nothing to walk away with tangibly. So we're hoping that we can sum this up, wrap this up, and provide for you all some type of strategy, some type of tools that you can walk away with and how to get through this. So what are some things that you all may have been telling either your clients or even telling yourself throughout this climate on how to get through this? And I'll start off. One is with my clients, I've been shifting their focus to what they can control.
Right.
Absolutely.
Things that's within their control. What do you have right now? I know this, and this, and all of these other things are going on, but in everything that you were talking about, everything that you listed, what can you control? If they list one thing that they can control, okay, you can control that. What can you do to control it? What do you need to do or put in place that helps you to handle this differently? How are you viewing it? What's coming to your mind about it? What can you do right now? So if you figure out that you can control it, taking small steps, if you will, to put things in place to be in better control of that particular thing, whatever that is. So starting small with small things, but identifying, because when you're looking at the whole picture, it can be overwhelming.
Right.
It can really be overwhelming, but taking and putting it in small bite-sized pieces helps you to be able to work through it better. So that's one of the things that I tell clients to do. And it's one of the things that I practice.
Yeah. One thing that I share with my clients is, like, if you really think about it, this is psychological wounding.
Yes.
As mentioned in the previous episode. But you got to know what the wound is. And so you got to acknowledge that wound and you got to validate it, right? You got to validate that you're actually hurting. You got to validate that, you don't actually have the job that you thought you had.
Right.
You got to validate that. But I would say a big picture in regards to acknowledging it is see it for what it really is, and the American dream, or I think you even said in the definition, Shan, it was kind of the loss of expectation, right? And so that in and of itself is grief, right? That in and of itself is a loss. And so if you put it in the context of it being a psychological wound, then you can shift to acknowledging the wound, but then you can shift into like actually processing the feelings that are attached to it. Because truth be told, if we're unstable in our minds, right? If we're unregulated in our emotions, it's going to impact the things that we do, or, impact the things we don't do.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so we can kind of stay stuck. And so from there, after you've acknowledged it and after you began to feel what you feel, then it's time to ground yourself in it. A lot of time, not ground yourself in the mess, right? But ground yourself from the perspective of, and I'm going to take it individually and then collectively if y'all will work with me. But we gotta ground ourselves in the sense that, is this what I'm feeling something connected to something that has already happened, like in my past,
Okay.
right? And so I'm taking it out of the context of uh, economics per se. I'm taking it out of the context of mistreatment and bringing it back to like individually. Like, is there something that I experienced that's reminding me of this particular wound.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so we've talked, I would say extensively about unhealed wounds and how they show up. But the delusional piece of it, and I promise you I'm going somewhere with this. The delusional piece of it is if we're not moving in truth, we're going to stay in the delusion. And then it's going to be hard to take steps to move forward. So I share with my clients, acknowledge that wound, ground yourself in the midst of it. And so therapy-wise, we talk about somatic therapy, and that's getting in touch with your body.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, where are you feeling it in your body? Where is this wound at in your body? Is it in your chest? You know what I mean? Is it in your stomach? Is it in your head? You know what I mean? Identify that kind of thing. The next thing that you got to do is you want to anchor yourself in a community. You know what I mean? Anchor yourself in a community that helps support you, not support mess or not support wrong thinking or bad beliefs, right? But help support your healing journey, right? And so that may look like therapy. It may look like small group. It may look like trusted friends. But it's a space that you can be in to where you can process what you're feeling right now without shame, right? Because everybody's not going to understand the struggle.
Right.
You know what I mean? Everyone is not going to understand the struggle.
It's true.
And then for me, and I share with my clients that, believe in the Lord, we got to reframe our faith. We got to reframe our faith. The scripture that I stand on many scriptures, but this one in particular is Matthew 6:33, and it's seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. So we got to seek God, right? And his plan and his purpose, right? Like our American dream may not be what the plan and the purpose that God has for us.
Absolutely.
Right. And so if we seek God, he's going to lay out that plan. He's going to give strategy. And you know what I mean? You're going to begin to walk in your healing in that process, but replace the cultural lies. Right? With God's promises. And with his truths.
Right.
Write them down. Speak over yourself.
Yes, absolutely.
But yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I think for me, some of the things I tell my clients, I'm a lot like Nikki. I use the words control and intentionality a lot. So yes, focus on those things that you can control, those things that you can't. There's no sense in putting any, more momentum towards it. Be intentional about any and everything that you have to do. If there is something that you have to get done, set it out, do it. And that way that is adding something that you're accomplishing to your checklist. It's also about preparation and planning. If you see some of the things that are going on, are you taking heed to that and say, you know what, maybe that's not affecting me right now, but just in case it turns that way, what am I doing right now to prepare for that? Don't wait until something happens before you start doing something. Get ahead of it. And then just looking at the different resources and the connections that you can make in different places that can help you in this journey of things that we're going through. Don't be afraid to stick your hand out for help. Don't let pride take you down because you say, well, I don't want to go down to the food bank and get back. Somebody may see me down there. Well, you know what? People see you in the grocery store, but you ain't saying nothing there either. So get what you need when you have to. Now, this may not be what I tell my clients. This is sometimes what I tell myself. Don't be confused. God is not the author of confusion. Sometimes what you have to do is have some time to sit with yourself or sit with someone else that may be like-minded and see what it is that they see in things and what you see and see if you can put those things together to make sense. If it don't make any type of sense, there's no sense to you giving into that because wherever your focus is going to be is what you're going to continue to see. If you're focused on being confused and stuff is all tore up from the floor up, that's what you're going to see. But if you say, okay, I understand what they're doing, but I need to focus on keeping things together, that's where you need to be at. And then always be aware of your identity. just because the United States may be in an uproar right now doesn't mean you have to be in that same uproar.
Right.
Sometimes we attach ourselves to things, and that's why we experience the negativity and we don't get the blessings of God because we're not believing in what He is doing. I may not understand it because His ways are our thoughts are not His thoughts, and our ways are not like His ways. But if I can say, God, I don't know what's going on right now, but I ask you to protect my family, those around me, even those that I come into contact with. I'm not worried about all of the other stuff that's going on. And then the very last thing is understand the art of deception. The art of deception says, don't just look at what you see, look at everything that's going on around it. Because what people do is do something in front of you and they get you focused here, but something is going on over there. And then when you're caught off guard because of that, you don't know which way you're going. That creates confusion. And then once you're confused, you don't know which way to go. And so what you're doing is you're sitting and waiting for something to happen. And now they got you right where they want you in one spot, all gathered together so the attack can begin.
Wow. That is good. So for me, separate, slow down, and ground. Separate, slow down, and ground. So separate. Of course, we have a lot of clients that come into our office and they're just, that anxiety has kicked in and a source of other things. But then we have to identify and ask ourselves, what is it that I'm doing and taking in? So when we have people, and I said this on another forum, that you're always have to be in the know with the news, CNN, HLN, all the different things. But those who have been to other countries can understand that things are getting spoon-fed to us. And sometimes when you're in that loop of, let's say, CNN, it's indoctrinating you. You're fixated, like Kenya was saying. So ask yourself, what do I need to separate from? Do I need to turn the notifications off on my phone? Do I need to turn the notifications off on social media because I always got to be in the know? That's keeping your anxiety level up. So if that's keeping your anxiety level up, you feel like you always got to be on the go. And that brings me to my next point of slow down. It's okay to slow down. It's okay, let me say it like we've heard in the country oftentimes, to get somewhere and sit down, okay? Give yourself permission to slow down, get somewhere and sit down. Because if you don't do that and you feel like you always got to be doing something, you always got to be on the go, again, that comes with anxiety and, oh, I didn't get my checklist done. It's okay. You live to see another day.
Yeah.
I mean, don't operate in the spirit of procrastination, but I'm just saying. So if you can't slow down, then you can't ground. Because grounding is, I seen the old folks do it in Oklahoma. They would sit on a chair, sat barefoot with their feet on the ground, and they would just breathe. They would take in nature, whatever they seen, you don't see people do that anymore. We do that as a form in the counseling room because when you come in on 10, we got to bring you down to 2 and make it manageable. So separate, slow down, and ground. And the last thing I would say is, because this is something personal, that was counseling, what we have started to do in our household, family, and lives is connect with people that we enjoy being around. Because if you're not separating yourself, and I'm always having to be connected to dysfunction and all these different things like that, what's going on in the world, I always have to be, you're not enjoying life. And there are too many people, and I'm kind of getting tired of it, but I mean, that's life, of hearing about this person's past, that person's past, and they're not 80, 90, and 100. They're 20, 30, 40, and 50. So start connecting with the people that you enjoy. You know you're going to laugh and have a good time. You know it's going to be some iron sharpening iron conversation. You can pour into them and they pour into you. And do the things that you enjoy doing.
Absolutely.
Get back to coloring in the coloring book. Reading a book. When's the last time you did that? Turn on some music and just dance.
I love that.
Just get back to doing hunting and fishing for my husband. Going to the range for us military people. So, get back to what you enjoy doing. So, yes, chaos is going on around us in the world. Like they have said, Nikki said, you can't control that. Stop thinking we can control everything. Only control what we can control. And these things that I know that I just shared, as well as them, we can control that.
I want to add one more to that because I think we have been taught we talk a lot about your truth, speaking your truth, right? And a lot of times we have been taught somebody else's truth. So we go about somebody else's truth. So capitalism, racism, and cultural oppression made many of us believe that we were lazy, broken, or behind.
Yep.
But we were never behind. We were just never included in the blueprint to begin with. And it's time to dismantle those lies.
Yes.
That's the lie. You have to know. And I want to put this scripture out there. John 8:32. You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. It will set you free. So if you want to heal in that and identifying what your truth is, educate yourself. Challenge the narratives. All of these things we've been talking about, like you said, listening to these news outlets and all of the things that people are putting out there, challenge some of that stuff. We're too quick to jump on board or get on the bandwagon, if you will, for a lot of different things that have us up and down to where we don't really know what the truth is. But challenge those things. Like, pick up a book, read something so that you can get a better understanding. That's what the word tells us too. In all that getting, get an understanding. How you gonna get an understanding if you ain't reading something?
Obtaining something to understand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you can replace shame with a sacred truth. Like, you are enough even without the American dream checklist.
Yes.
You don't have to have all of those things. We've talked about you creating your own list. You standing with God and saying, I am going to choose God's dream and not this American dream. And stop apologizing for not thriving in systems that were never built for you.
That's good.
That's a whole lot.
Can you say that one more time for the people in the back and the front?
Okay, for the people all over the room.
Come on.
Stop apologizing for not thriving in systems that weren't built for you. It wasn't built for you. And this is where I feel like, for me, stepping outside of that and deciding, okay, God, what system do you have for me? What system are you building for me? Because I've tried to live up to what they said, and it still got me nothing. We talked about voids. I'm still empty.
Right.
There's something that I'm still not being fulfilled with.
Yeah.
And it was because I wasn't standing in His truth.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, the scriptures tell us, I mean, if you're talking about God and the Lord, Philippians 4:19,
yes,
my God shall supply all my need.
Oh,
We add an S to that, or maybe even some translations that has an S on it. But it says need. El Shaddai, the all-sufficient one,
yes.
that He give you everything that pertains to life and godliness.
Everything.
Oh, but wait a minute, Larissa. I'm living paycheck to paycheck. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things shall be added. So we think about just the natural things to be added, but that's spiritual too.
Absolutely.
That's spiritual.
And the other part to that, Larissa, is just going back and say, be thankful you can live paycheck to paycheck. Some people ain't getting no paycheck.
That's true.
Be kind of happy about what you already have. There was a thing, and they really can't prove this happened, but there was an individual, I think his last name was Attenborough, who gave an example of what society and societal conflict could be like. And basically what it says is, if you take 100 red ants and 100 black ants and put them in a jar, they would live together without any issues whatsoever. But the minute you shake that jar, they would start fighting each other. So we have to understand that in a societal standpoint, that we're all the ants in the jar. We have to know who's shaking it.
Oh.
That's good. Look, sometimes when it's pink, the air just comes out my lungs.
Okay, so because the crazy thing is, I'm a visual person, so I visualize that, and I see the hand that is shaking the jar. We see that. There is no way, if you got two eyes and you can see, I don't care if you got to put glasses on, because I wear them too.
Right.
Contacts, whatever you want to call. You can see who's shaking the jar.
Right.
You can see who's shaking the jar.
Yeah. And that
My
definitely,
oh my goodness.
that's
We
see
could
who's
live.
manipulating you. Yeah. I wrote down a question for the listeners. Are you currently satisfied with where you are right now?
Ooh, you are.
Okay, so we're talking about the American dream. We're talking about the checklist. We're talking about the American nightmare. For a lot, it's really a nightmare. The dream was sold, not told. Ain't that what the old heads used to say? The dream was sold, not told. So if you are not satisfied with where you are right now, why? Is it because you're continuously chasing material things? Because I remember it used to be said, as long as I have a roof over my head, clothes on my back,
And food
in my stomach, then I am good.
Yeah.
I believe as a people, because of lining up with the dream and the one-up spirit, as I call it, you one-upping and comparing yourself to someone else. That's how I remember my grandparents living simplistically, as long as I got a roof over my head. And I'm telling you, it was not degrees in that household. It was a bunch of wisdom. It was education because I chose to learn. But that was like one of the happiest places in my life. One of the most safe spaces. And they wasn't driving, you know what I'm saying, the best car or, had living in a mansion. They were happy. And you felt the love when you came in. So again, are you satisfied currently with where you are right now? And you have to ask yourself that. And don't blame your spouse. No, because my husband won't get up off his behind and get another job. He already got 3. No. Why? Are you satisfied? If you're not, why are you not satisfied? We have to get out of this blaming and ask, why are we not satisfied with where we are right now? And why we keep chasing that carrot that they keep dangling in front of our face.
Oh, and that just took me to that commercial. When he dangled the dollar.
Right. See, we be clowning.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You almost had it.
Right. He just.
But isn't that something that this is what we're going for? And I always ask when people say they, and I'm like, who are they?
Who are they?
Who are they? Who told you what you are doing is what you're supposed to be doing? Like, who?
Right.
Who? Did somebody come and sit you down and have a meeting with you and say, this is what you need to do? Do this, 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 and this, and this. Or did you decide?
Right.
This is what you were going to do.
Yeah.
That's why it's important to be careful who you listen to, what you surround yourself with.
Right.
Because if they are going to tell you something, they should be able to give you all the information that you need to get to that point, and then be able to come back and say, see, I told you so. But oftentimes you don't get that. And then you have to understand, be careful of what you allow people to say about you, pour into your spirit and things of that nature, because they may be telling you something to distract you from what you're really called to do. Some of us are still sitting in the cocoon, being a caterpillar when we're supposed to be flying, being a butterfly right about now. But all because we listened to somebody that was stagnant themselves, we still stagnant.
Right.
Isn't that something though? What they say, the crab in the barrel mentality. I don't want you to be no better than me. If I'm gonna be in this barrel, you can't get out. You can't get out.
Yeah. And what I just wrote down is, look, hot off the presses. Are we choosing to stay in the systems that keeps us bondage? Because I hate to say it, this how the little kid, the young adults say it, they're calling it the matrix. It's the systems. When we're talking about the world, we're talking about a world system.
That's right.
And technically, it's our choice. We choose to go along and keep the blinders on, or to stop, pause, to reflect and think, no, this is not what I want to do. There are a lot of people, let me just put this out there, they're going to be mad. Whoever they are, Nikki, they're going to be mad at me. But whatever, I'm covered by the Lord.
Okay.
So with that being said, there are a lot of people who are choosing to get off the hamster wheel.
Yeah.
They're choosing not to be in this rat race anymore. People are choosing to take take advantage of all the benefits that they have so they can say, I don't want to do this 9 to 5 anymore. I don't want to run, because a lot of us have been working since we was 12, 13, 14 years old, full steam ahead. And we're not even going to talk about military life, because that started at old dark 30.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, 24/7.
Okay, because you ain't
leap years.
ever.
You know, leap year too.
Yes. And so we choose. And yes, that was our choice to raise our hand, and we want better for our family. But right now, in the 2025, 2026, are you choosing to stay in these systems that keep you bondage? You have to recognize what systems you're actively participating in that has you in bondage. Because I'm telling you, freedom is available.
Yeah.
But it comes with identifying and healing.
Yes. Can I just share this, y'all?
Yes.
And y'all work with me here. So, children of Israel.
Okay.
All right. I think you probably know where I'm going. So the children of Israel came out of Egypt, which is representative of bondage. Right? And so along the way, they met bitter wells in Mara, right? Bitter wells in Mara. Then they shifted and they moved to a place called Elim, Elim, right? And in that place, that was a time of refreshing, right? There was 12 wells there. But not only that, they had community. Right there in that space. I promise you, I'm going something.
No, we with you.
Right? And so then they shifted and they went to Sinai and they got commands and covenant and all of that other good stuff. But the big picture is they were on a journey, right? To get to the land of milk and honey. But before they could get to the land of milk and honey, they had to they had to stop murmuring and complaining.
That part.
Because they were murmuring and complaining because of what was going on around them and what they didn't have. Their mindset at the time in their murmuring and complaining was, hey, you brought us out here to die. When we was in bondage, we was full. We had all the things in bondage. So the other part of it is there were instructions that were given to the people. The Lord provided manna, right? And quail, right? The manna came from heaven, and they were given specific instructions to only take what was needed. And if you took more, then it rotted and it was stank.
Right. That's true.
All I'm saying is that in that moment, when they received that manna and when they received that quail, that was just enough.
Wow.
But not only that, that is still a divine portion, right, that they have. And so what am I saying? We're talking about the American dream here. If you stick with the Lord, right, He's going to provide for you, even in the midst of this chaos, even in the midst of this economic, downfall, or the loss of jobs, the loss of health care, all of this loss. The Lord will provide.
Always have.
He will provide, y'all. So take the manna, y'all. Don't take no more than what you need.
That part.
That's the
it's
problem.
The greed.
Right. The greed. We started off talking about that. The greed. And the greed is what's causing the stank. The greed is what's causing all of the
nightmares.
The division, all of the nightmare. Because now that's all we are going for.
See, now some people can't get their hands in that greed target. So, I'm one of those individuals that believes that you try to do what's best for everybody and treat everybody as equal as possible. And it's like you guys said, it's all about that greed. Some people that think they're above the law, they want them to be able to have everything, but nobody else can. And so, it's just like a lot of congressmen and politicians. They want to say, well, we need to take away military benefits. They shouldn't be able to receive this, that, and other. But we had to go duck bullets.
We
Y'all
had
ain't
to
duck
work
no
for that.
bullets, and y'all stay
Yes.
1 or 2 terms in, then you taking care of for the rest of your
For
life.
the rest of
And
your
we
life.
got to do 20, 30 years somewhere to get the benefits that we didn't ask for, that
But
you promised.
Come on.
and they have to fight for it.
Yeah, and then have to fight
Yes.
for it on top of that.
Yes, yes.
So let's just be equal. You know, they say if you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day, but if you teach a man a fish, he'll eat for a lifetime. I gave you a lifetime in the military for the most part.
Yes.
Mhm.
And
Take care of me.
you, but that's the thing. Oh my God. Taking the ones that they perceive as the lowest
And expecting the most.
and expecting.
And then you trying to take my fish when you already got fish. Joke.
Okay.
Unprofessional.
Okay.
I'm
This
just
ain't
saying, don't take my fish.
This ain't for fish. This is true.
Yeah.
This is true. Because that's what's happening. And you
Yeah.
tell us to be okay with that. It's okay. It's good. No, it's not okay.
It's not.
Right.
The Bible
not
says,
okay.
render unto Caesar what is Caesar's.
Caesar's.
I don't know nobody named Caesar except for Lil.
Yeah.
Lil Caesar.
Yeah, I ain't never
Look,
met Caesar myself.
I ain't met him.
No.
I ain't met him.
And Caesar
But-
trying to take ours.
Yeah, we're just looking for fairness. That's all. Equality.
Yeah.
You know, because I bet some people would be upset if Jesus showed up and said, okay, hold up, time out. All you politicians and stuff for that, you had greed and this, that, and other. You're not going to be blessed right now. They'd be upset. But Father, you said in your word. But you
I'm a Christian.
Yeah, but you'll hold Jesus to a
It's
standard who
like-
you've never met, but you won't treat me the way I'm supposed to be treated
Come
by
on.
his standard, and you see me all the time.
You see me every day.
Mm.
You see.
Yep.
Wait a minute,
Oh,
wait.
yeah.
I got something I want to do here.
That does bring us to the end.
And we are at the end. Oh my God.
Oh,
This
man.
has really, really been good. I want us to
Yes.
all top it off or end it with something. I got something that I want to say to close out my sentiments and where I feel like I've gone in this. The real dream, it was never about status. It's about wholeness. It's about joy that doesn't need applause. It's about peace that doesn't perform. It's about writing a life that you actually want to live and doing it with God's plan, not the world's pressure. Let's stop surviving the nightmare and start building the dream, your dream.
Wow.
I don't even know if I say that.
I know,
We do that
it's-
every once in a while on the show where the mic gets dropped.
Yeah.
All right. Oh my God. Thank you guys
Yes.
so much. This has really, really been good. We appreciate you all even coming to hear what we have to say, for joining us on tonight's show, for all the shows, the episodes that you have watched with us or listened to with us. We don't take it lightly. We wouldn't be able to do it and continue to do it if wasn't nobody listening. So
Right.
we appreciate you all for taking the time to listen in here at Talk Therapy Heal. Again, we pray that something that was said penetrates your heart, your mind, your spirit, that makes you want to become different, that you would stop chasing an American dream and create your own dream. Therefore, you won't live a nightmare. Just do it, y'all. It's worth it. It is definitely worth it. If you're listening to or watching us on YouTube, don't forget to hit that like button, that subscribe, and that notification bell. If you are listening to us on a podcast, be sure to share. Please share, because there are people out there who need to hear this. We thank you all again for joining us here at Talk Therapy Heal. Have a great night.
Bye.
Bye.